Hello everyone. Welcome to Marketing Words Can English Publishing Models Fit Indian Languages. With us we have Mayura, Mr. Mayura, Ratheesha, Ratnakar and Shwetha, Yerram as the moderator. I would please like to call you all on stage.
Firstly, welcome everyone and very sorry for the delay in the session and also the last minute change in the panel. Unfortunately, some of our panelists were not informed well or something has not been right, so some of them did not show up and we have replaced them with other publishers. So here we have Ratheesha. So it is not a test, don't worry, you're already passed, okay? We have Ratheesha, Kannada publisher, and Arunanklata, Telugu publisher. And we have Anand Dakshinamurthy, he's a Tamil publisher. And today's session is Marketing Words, Can English Publishing Models Fit Indian Languages? So when we were talking about the session, we were thinking, should we talk about the marketing of English language versus Indian languages, or should we talk about the publishing model itself? So we decided to go with both of them. Maybe a little more emphasis on marketing of Indian language literature in comparison with the English language. So I'll start with Ratheesh. Ratheesh, you were very curious to tell us about the marketing of Indian language literature in comparison with English. I was in the opinion that the publishing model of English language might not be a good fit for Indian languages, but marketing, isn't it the same approach that we all are going towards, especially in the digital marketing world? Isn't it the same for any language? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, whatever you told is right. When it comes to the marketing process or the marketing ideas or everything, so most of it, what we have, it has come from the West. It has come from the English. Even the whole publishing model, what we have today, it has come from the West, because the innovation of paper, printing, everything, the whole publishing itself started in English. And the same model got copied to India. So whatever we are following as a publishing model, it is nothing but English publishing model. But when it comes to the marketing, the English marketing is more of an aggression and lot of investment. The reason being, we should see the whole market in terms of economics, right? So the number of copies they are going to print every year, or every single print, is comparatively, very, very huge when it comes to the Indian languages. So that is where we lose the major part, because if English book is there or English publish is there, they might print something like a 1 lakh print or 10,000. That is the initial print they do. If it is a popular author, it will be definitely in lakhs. But what Indian languages does is hardly 1,000, or even if it is a popular author, it could be 3,000 or 5,000. That is a maximum thing. So in that case, the whole economics works, and the cost of production and to the MRP, it's comparatively it is very less. So we get a very less amount for a marketing. When we say the marketing, we can do any type of marketing which English does, or which is very indigenous style of marketing we can do, but we need funding for that, and funding comes from the MRP of the book. So when we get that margin less, so it is very difficult for us to experiment so many things and invest much of it. So we have to be creative. So that is where the difference is. Why the English marketing model doesn't fit to Indian is that we have a challenge of funding for the particular marketing models, and we have to be very creative in terms of marketing. And because of we should be thankful to the social media, which is like kind of a democratic in terms of marketing now, which is helping us to cope up with whatever English people are doing. Still, in terms of distribution and everything, we are still, there's a lot to work on. So that's what I first thought on around it. Yeah.
About how marketing could be.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Anand, do you have any different opinion about this?
See, I feel, I mean, I've seen both how books are marketed in the US. There's an elaborate marketing plan they do. I mean, let's say language publishers. I mean, Indian language publishers, they don't do marketing at all. There's zero marketing effort that goes into it. Maybe here and there you'll have a book launch. I mean, there are some publishers. I mean, I know Vasudhendra who does a whole book tour of the whole Karnataka when he publishes a book. That's the type of marketing that English publishers do in the US. They have a 1 month, 2 month, trip across the US to go to libraries, bookshops, colleges. If it is children book, they go to schools. I mean, here how do we engage? I mean, we don't, like, publishers have to allocate funds. Okay, I mean, you need funds, but that has to be accommodated within your production costs. I mean, they like West allocates about 30 to even 50% or even more sometimes your production costs, equivalent production costs to just marketing costs. So that type of bullish marketing we don't do. We think it's organic. Oh, it'll sell. I mean, okay, I'm not talking about getting to that level. I mean, we need to start somewhere. Indian language publishers have started beginning to do something on social media, but if you still see traditional publishers, I can only talk about Tamil, where I come from. Social media is still used to only certain extent. I mean, it's not fully utilized. Like, they're still active on certain platforms which they think is their audience, which hinders them from access or reach, which hinders them from reaching younger audience in other platforms. For example, it's very uncommon to see Tamil publishers do a lot of promotion on Instagram. Traditional Tamil publishers, but they do it on
They're
Facebook.
still on Facebook.
We don't have TikTok. In the US, TikTok is a big thing. And a book that clicks on TikTok will sell 1 million copies. So we have that, issue that we are not, we don't have such platforms. And even the US industry solely relies on TikTok marketing. Today, tomorrow, I mean, there was an initial discussion on Trump banning TikTok. It didn't go through because the whole industry, economics, there's a lot of pushback, etc. So, I mean, my initial thought is there's a lot of things that Indian language publishers can do. Often they think this is enough. And even Indian English publishers, I would say. A lot of English, I mean, we only see big titles that are marketed like everywhere. Like, let's say, big names who are in the top best 10 of the weekly charts or whatever. We only see them displayed in all bookshops. We only see those titles everywhere on social media or on the same panelists, the same authors on every other literary event. You don't see there's like so many titles they publish. If you, if you take a look at the number of titles they publish, it will be more than what they display. So where do those titles go? I mean, they also don't market enough. So it is only selective marketing that publishers, even Indian English publishers, do, that they know that this will work for them. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places, gaps that we need to fit in, put more money. I know, I mean, you can't focus on every title, but to an extent, I think you can still do a better job, I feel. That's my very critical view of.
Well, we don't have TikTok. We don't have the kind of budgets the English publishing houses have. And maybe, as Ratheesh was saying, we might have to go in our own innovative ways. Like, there is a Telugu publisher and writer, Kadali. She has been advertising her book releases on Paytm and other such similar apps. After we finish the payment, there is an ad displayed in the bottom, and there was a book showing up. I was so happily surprised to see that. So it's definitely a very innovative thing, because I don't think a publisher or an author would have thought about advertising in such sense. And I also believe that Indian language publishers somewhere have a belief, not just publishers, even the author, somewhere believe that it's not a good practice to push or promote your book too much. This is a very orthodox, conservative, when I say orthodox and conservative, I'm not meaning it in a negative way, but it has been that way for a very long time. And for that thing to change, there the young publishers and young readers are now coming up with innovative marketing on just social media. But we are just starting out, as Anant is saying, we're just starting out. We still need a lot more to happen. And Chaya has been doing a lot of digital marketing lately. Can you give your views and inputs, how it has changed your sales numbers or your reach to the readership?
So basically, there are readers. In Telugu, there are a number of readers, but the problem is readers don't know which book came in the market. So earlier we used to depend on the newspaper reviews, Sunday supplement reviews, mostly on Facebook. But now the generation has changed. Now the generation is Instagram. As Anand said, we don't have TikTok. We have to rely on Instagram reels. But when people got to know the book, they'll buy. They are buying. But when it comes to the how innovatively you are presenting a book, so there are good books which are presented very badly. There are books, okay, one-time reading books. You may say pulp fiction, you may say love story, some kind of books. They are promoting in a very innovative way. But when readers are buying both kind of books, they are giving reviews. When they come to the bookstores, whenever it happens in Hyderabad Book Fair or any other places when you set up stalls, when you are explaining the book, the readers giving reviews, are you seriously saying all these things contents of this book, or you just want to do it as a marketing strategy? No. If you read this book, if you don't find it very well, or if you are not satisfied with this book, you can return. Sometimes we are saying it to the readers. But these Instagram promotions or Twitter promotions or YouTube promotions, that's really helping, boosting in the sales. And in terms of Chaya, out of passion, we used to publish the books. But from the last 1 year, we seriously looked into the marketing thing. And our book sales are when I see the Amazon statistics, there are 1,000-1,200% sales in that particular week or particular month, which compared to the last year. So usually some 300-400% strike up we have seeing after investing marketing.
That's excellent. I would also like to understand about the offline and online marketing. As you were saying, Vasudendra is doing book tours for all his authors extensively all over Karnataka whenever a book is releasing. So that's offline marketing and requires a lot of funding, I'm sure. And Ratheesha, you're talking about digital marketing. How do, in comparison sense, the young readers are receiving digital marketing versus offline marketing?
Yeah, Arun mentioned, the digital marketing has even at Harivu, when we started, the kind of digital marketing took us to the level is very different. We could grow up to 10x, 12x by adopting the digital marketing. And based on the data that we are seeing, most of the readers are from 26 to 34 or 35, and they have come from digital marketing to the books. So the first thing for us, in the marketing, at least in the context of Kannada, what I am saying, so we have to convince the user to read, and we are not selling the product. So I'm not selling that, okay, read this book or read that book or read this author, that author. So what we are saying, read. So first they have to get convinced about reading. So that is the thing, what are the benefits of reading? Because of education, or because most of the people are nowadays going to the not going to Kannada medium education. Because of that, the reading habit has moved away, and because of the screen time and everything. So first thing we have to do is convincing them about reading. We have to tell that, okay, these are the benefits of reading. These are the intellectual benefits, and these are the biological benefits. Okay, you get the neuroplasticity because of the reading, and your brain power will increase, and the stress level, the cortisol level, everything. So we have to convince them about reading.
Do you have doctors on your team?
Yeah, we do the
I'm
interview
just
of a
making
psychologist, and yeah, we do have doctors, and we study about what are the benefits, because unless you convince any user, I mean, I see book as a product, and I mean, when marketing, I see it as a product, and this is a water bottle, and how do I market this water bottle? So that perspective, if you market, and you get ideas around it. So that is a gap we saw, that in Kannada users, first they have to convince about reading. And then when they are convinced, and it is very easy for them to, okay, they can pick a book from a Chaya publication or a Harivu publication, from any publication they want. So that is a key thing for us, and which has to go for another 5 to 10 years to build a cult for reading. So enough.
Cult.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah, see, that is what happened in most of the West market, and this is the kind of thing where the model fit, right? This is what it has to fit. If you remember, 20 years before, we were not so fascinated about gym or protein powders, and today we are. And it is not a bad thing. Gym is not a bad thing, and a protein powder is not a bad thing if it is used moderately. So how we have come to that level today is gymming or protein powder is, for most of them, it has become integral part of the life. So how it has become? It is because of 20 years of consistent marketing, or the persistent marketing. So that is the way we should see the book marketing. First, we have to convince them about reading, the benefits of reading, how they how can they spend their quality time and everything. So then we get good amount of people who are willing to read, and then produce the books, or anyway, you'll be producing the books, and then put in front of them through different media, like through the YouTube. And we do the YouTube shop nowadays. There are a lot of avenues. Through Instagram, you can say there are meta ads, and through Facebook, and Shopify gives a lot of options, through Google Store, and you can have your own e-commerce platform, Amazon, Flipkart. And then YouTube store also has come up now. So there are a lot of avenues, and put them through the various avenues, and make it available to them. So it's not only marketing, and it should be coupled with the proper service. See, nowadays the e-commerce platform is booming, and the e-commerce service is at the top-notch level. And now the customer can just reject it, COD options, and exchange, customer review, and the whole experience of buying is very different. And book shouldn't be kept different than the regular buying. I mean, when you are buying a cosmetic product, what is the kind of experience an online buyer gets? The same experience a book buyer should get. So then only we will be able to justify the marketing.
That's a very interesting perspective, that you're trying to build the readership rather than just selling a product called book. So I think this is a very interesting perspective, and something we all can ponder on.
See, when we are compared to English market, right? So English market says that most of the surveys says 30% of the people are readers. I mean, the regular readers. So the buying capacity is more, even the per capita GDP is high. So their investment, the capacity is high. The purchasing capacity is high. So when it comes to India, it is hardly 3 to 4% of readership. So the numbers are very low here. Even if you compare the population number, so there it is 10 crore and we are 5 crore. So in that case, we have to build that 5 crore to 10 crore and then see what can be done. So that is where we have to focus, is what I see.
Very interesting. Yes, thank you for your perspective.
No problem.
Anand, this is for you. About you just mentioned that the English publishers will have a very extensive pre-planned marketing ideas. But that is the whole point. Do you think it fits the Indian publishing too?
Yeah, I mean, see, there's a concept of galley or advanced review copies, which, I mean, Indian language publishers don't have it. Maybe Indian English publishers have, but for very limited titles, their bestsellers, their, what do you call it? Category killers, they call it. Only for those authors, they'll have ARCs or galleys, and they don't. Chaya has galleys, okay. but it's very rare. Like I don't see any Indian language publishers otherwise have galley. So it starts from there, having a galley sent to reviewers, etc. And then you have a whole marketing plan, not just book tours and other things, but also they have over time they have built an ecosystem of reading clubs, whether it's celebrity reading clubs or I mean we do have in the last few years there's Bessie Reads or we have here Kaban Reads. A lot of reading clubs have come around and tying up with them, influencer marketing has become big. So I mean they do a lot of, so it does fit for Indian English publishing or even Indian language publishing, it does fit in. It is just that I feel Indian language publishers need to kind of take that extra step to, somebody has to start doing that. I mean, once everybody has to pitch in to try to build that ecosystem. It won't happen on its own. So,
New age publishers. Do you think the new age publishers are starting doing that in Indian language?
they do. I mean, I'm seeing in other languages. I don't know. I'm not very hopeful about Tamil, but I'm seeing in other languages, especially Telugu. I see definitely, but I'm not sure about my own language. But I also wanted to take this conversation because it's a translating words, or from Indian languages to English. That's what it was. What is it? Marketing words. I also want to ask you guys, how do you? What we spoke so far is B2C. I want to say B2B. How do you market your own work title to an English publisher? How do you make it? I want to take this conversation towards that side. I know everybody knows general marketing stuff.
Yes, Anand, this seems like a question that you came prepared to, even though it might be out of syllabus, right? Anyway, yeah, would you like to answer that? He wants to talk about B2B.
No, I mean, the answer is through the marketing words. I mean, when we succeed through our language, through the marketing, right, the numbers are very high. And obviously the English or French or any person or any language would definitely come and pick it up.
But then we first need to succeed.
Yeah, so
You're saying.
I mean, in Kannada there is a saying that mane gellu first, means you have to win in your house, and then mar gellu means you have to win the market later.
We have in
So
Telugu too.
yeah,
Yes.
so it's first we have to win in the local language, and then obviously everybody will come and.
Did that answer your question?
Moderator of the second part, maybe. No, I'm trying to understand, do publishers, let's say regional language publishers, do they have in mind that certain type of work will work, let's say even for Indian English audience? Or they just want to take whatever the best titles they have to the English publisher?
Yeah, I mean, when we see the new age publisher in Kannada, we are seeing that effort. So, I mean, Haribu or anybody, Kannada publishers, new age publishers, what we see, if the product, if we get convinced that it is doing marketing in our market well, and we always try to get it to the overseas and get it to multiple languages. And I'm seeing very good urge of getting our work translated to multiple languages, including English or even French and German, in new age publishers. That is an observation I do have.
I think we are running out of time. So we are open for questions from the audience. We'll pass one of the mics.
So I have a question. This is coming from a lot of work that I have done in the consumer space. Is the publishing space, are the publishers currently in a frame of mind where they recognize that publishing is at the end of it a consumer business? Because I think that orientation is important if we want to reach the consumer who is the reader. Or are we still sitting on a high horse that, okay, this is a noble profession and we will do it in a particular manner, etc.?
We all can get off the stage.
No. I think I can talk about, let's say, I don't want to I'll generalize, it's okay. I think I feel Tamil publishing sits on a very top level thinking, except for certain exceptions. Thinking that what they publish is what readers have to read. I think they still, I feel, need to figure out what readers want. I think Telugu has cracked, I think Malayalam has cracked. The young adult market that they have cracked, it's very commercially viable, and they know what the next set of readers want. Tamil industry hasn't cracked that. It's still riding on a very highbrow literary wave, and I don't know anytime it's going to see what the readers want.
I, as a publisher, believe that the publisher need to reach to the reader, not the other way around. At least in this modern age and time, when the concentration spans has gone down greatly because of social media and whatever other factors we name, you need to grab the attention of the reader. The publisher, it's the publisher's responsibility and job, is what I believe.
So in Kannada, what we are seeing, there are times we had, because of the ideology, some of the publishing houses got emerged, and they were thinking very high, and they had a certain agenda to work on. So because publishing became popular, and we could see many publishers, they think that, okay, their bread and butter is different, but publishing is their own satisfaction job kind of thing. But nowadays, when we consider our own company, we are a privately limited company, and we have to show what is X and what is Y. And to the investors, we say that, okay, this is the growth kind of we are seeing. So that is a corporate kind of thing which is coming up. It's a kind of a new wave where we have to think product as a business, and it has to make profit, because then only the company will survive. So that thing is mixed up. I would say not everybody is like that. It is mixed up, but there is a new wave around it. Yeah.
I don't think young writers are ready to put the publisher on the top platform in this age and time. So we need to cater to their emotional changing needs too.
The cost of translation apart, okay, the language in which a book is translated, especially from any regional language into English, is predominantly done by an Indian who knows that language very well. But if you read any of the international authors, best-selling authors, the language that sells extremely well is not the language in which we translate. In fact, if you go into Amazon, there is something called Indian writing. Okay. Indian writing has still not gathered the kind of impetus that probably any foreign author has kind of gathered in the whole thing. Now the only thing you can do to bridge the whole thing is a very common sense that you will have to get somebody from abroad who will translate this work into their language, or Indian writing has to be looked at by them into their language. Do you think that an approach like this will support cost?
I don't think so.
I think a lot of translators who don't have their, let's say the target language that they're translating into may not be their native language, but they still excel in the English publishing world. Almost East Asian translators, Korean, Japanese translators, yeah. I'm just giving. I'm coming there. So Indian translators, yes. We do have a dearth of translators in the quality too, but I think it's solely based on editor, what the publisher who wants to publish certain type of work. I think it needs to be improved. It's been improving is also, I feel. It's been improving in certain sense. Yeah.
If you're talking about something going international, my question is very simple. Okay. There will be people who will be willing and able to do this job in a language that the world market appreciates and accepts, because we don't have lacuna in the quality of writing. Okay, I think some of our writers are definitely above what the world writes, It's my humble opinion, okay. Nevertheless, but if this has to go beyond the boundary, the only impediment I see in the whole thing is, okay, the cost of translation by those people. And my question again is, how do we bridge this?
Right. So if you come to cost, I feel English publishers have that much money to support translation. Who are the people who's going to publish that work, whether it's outside India? I mean, that's what they've been doing for other translators from other languages. They are remunerating with good money, whatever. I mean, it's still not good enough, but in terms of Indian money, it's still good money.
Sorry to come in between, Anand. Because I know you hold a degree in publishing from abroad and you're very passionate about this, is why I'm speaking to you on this, okay? The last so many years of Penguin, HarperCollins, Hachette or whoever in India, can you just tell me 5 titles, Indian writing, which has cut the ice internationally?
Last 5 years? I mean, if you want to take Gachar Gochar has sold 11,000 copies in the US. Internationally.
In English.
It's an English translation of Gachar Gochar. Has sold 11,000. It's in what is it called? What is it? Publishing. No, Nielsen has a database.
If something does not cross a lakh internationally, it will not come. So let's not compromise, okay? Yeah. It's not a bestseller at all, okay? Anything that's cut the critical mass, I'm asking you because I don't have the data. I know you have.
No, I can say. I mean, see, South Asian writings I don't think they cross beyond certain numbers. Let's say 20,000, 30,000. East Asian cross to an extent. I mean, South Asian needs a lot of push. But I'm saying 10,000 is still a good number for an Indian author to publish, get sold in a foreign land. I think it's still a good first step, I feel. Yeah, and we have, when it comes to cost, I think we do have grants. Like all foreign publishers solely rely on grants when it comes to translation. And you have Salt into Pen Translates or Alta grant. A lot of international grants into English have been happening. I think we don't have a cultural body like most international countries where the cultural bodies themselves will fund the translation or production costs, like French Institute or Swedish Arts Council or Korean Literary Translation Institute. But we don't have that. Whoever is a private organization that comes to support or that's where I think it's very, very bleak and meek, I feel, but I think there is scope is what I feel.
We can take one last question.
So what's your thoughts on self-publishing? Because I'm an indie author, so what do you think, what we lack actually in terms of publishing? Because
when you say what do we lack, are you talking about self-publishers or?
Yeah, we are self-publishers, we are indie authors, so we publish our books on our own. We know platforms like Amazon, so we format and we just publish it there. It goes live within 72 hours or something. We do everything. So what's your take on this? Where do we lack actually? So we are doing marketing also, we are promoting our books everywhere. So what do you think? What's your take on this? Where do we lack?
You're asking me or the panel?
Any one of you, any publisher can answer
I'll give
this
my
question.
2 cents here.
Anyone can answer.
I know authors in Telugu who published on self-publishing platforms and sold thousands of copies in under a few months. So it's mostly about marketing and the content. And there is no magic potion that we all can have and sell thousands of copies. For some books it happens, for some it do not. But I personally do not promote self-publishing platforms much because they do not support the author the way an actual publisher does. And there's a lot of scope that a traditional publisher, when I say traditional, not the self-publishing platforms, let's say book festivals, literary festivals, and take, for instance, awards. All these things, I think a publisher only can do for an author. A self-publishing platform could be a last resort. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going for those things because platforms like Amazon and other self-publishing platforms are making it easy to publish, but when you don't see the book anywhere else except they print and send it to you only when you order, there is no optics for the book. when there is no optics for the book, that means there is no optics for the author. The author cannot sustain just self-publishing their books throughout their career. So I believe you have to end up with a publisher. I do not say what you are lacking, it's just that maybe a publisher.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Just my 2 cents. The one thing which you wanted to know what lack, right? Distribution, I would say. Most of the self-publisher rely on online sales, and you won't find the books most of the stores physically on the stores. So even now the book readers, most of the book readers, they love to go to the store and have a touch and feel and then buy it. So that would add more mouth, and that will add more mouth publicity, word of mouth. So that is a major thing I would see for a self-publisher they would lack.
I just want to add, go for self-publishing if you can. I mean, it's fine. I mean, Colin Hoover rose to different heights. Some Telugu at home has gone to different heights because of self-publishing. Colin Hoover sold, I think, 8 lakh copies just by self-publishing. Then Simon & Schuster came in and took them under the wing. If you want to get noticed, self-publish, make yourself a brand, people will come after you.
Just that you have to put in a lot more work than you do when you do with a publisher. Thank you everyone for coming to a session.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was a powerful session that made us rethink who publishing is really speaking to and in which tongue. Thank you so much.